Hi, so in this video I'm just going to show you a few short examples of writing equations of lines given a couple different things. Both of these are things you'll see in homework this week. So the first one I have is we're going to write the equation of the line that goes through a point, negative 2, 1. Notice that point is not the y-intercept. If it is, it makes our job a lot easier, but this one's not the y-intercept, and I give a slope. Okay, so the two things I'm given right now are m is negative 3, and I'm not given the y-intercept, so I'm not given b, but I do have a point of negative 2, 1. So there's two ways I can go from here. In this first example, I'm going to show you how to do it using the slope-intercept form, so this form. Okay, y equals mx plus b. And in the next example, I'll show you using point-slope form, and I could use either one of these for both problems. You kind of decide which one you like better. They'll both always work. So if I'm using slope-intercept form, I have to have the slope, okay, and I have to eventually get b, and that's what I'm going to work to do right now. Okay, so I have slope. So far this is what I know for this equation. I know it's going to be negative 3x plus b, because I know the slope. And I got to figure out what that b is. So what I do is my next step is I'm going to plug in my point to find b. Okay, so I'm going to plug in my point. So my point is negative 2, 1, so negative 2 is the x, 1 is the y. So I'm going to plug in my 1 for y, so it's going to rewrite to look like this. 1 equals negative 3, okay, my x is negative 2. So the reason this helps me is because once I plug in that ordered pair, I'm only going to keep it in for now until I find b. But once I plug in that ordered pair, now I only have one unknown. So then my next step is I'm going to solve the equation for b. Okay, so let's see, I've got 1 equals, so this is going to give me a 6 plus b. Okay, I subtract over the 6, and I get negative 5 equals b. Okay, so right now I have the slope, and now I have b. So now I have everything that I need. So I'm going to go back and write my equation. So I'm going to come up here and write, now I'm going to take out my ordered pair and go back to x and y. So y equals negative 3x minus 5. And that's the equation of the line that goes through that ordered pair with that slope. Okay, so I used the slope and an ordered pair to find everything I needed. So in my next example, I'm giving you similar stuff. We're still going to write the equation of the line that goes through, but now I didn't give you the slope, but I gave you two ordered pairs, which is essentially just as good, just maybe a little more work for us. So no matter what, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to find the slope of these two ordered pairs. Okay, so I'm going to use my m equals change in y over change in x. Okay, so just mean I'm going to subtract the y's. So I'm going to do 6 minus negative 3, and I got to go in the same order as I did on the y's and the x's. So 2 minus negative 4. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so we have a 9, because that's really 6 plus 3. These become my plus, this becomes a plus. So I have 9, 6, so really my slope in lowest form is 3/2. Okay, let's circle that. So at this point, I can do one of two things. I can go back to what I did on the previous example and use my slope and either one of my ordered pairs to plug in to get b. That's always an option. Or I'm just going to show you an example to use point slope form. Point slope form is designed for you to plug in a point and a slope and get the equation. Okay, so point slope form looks like this. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So I'm just going to circle the things that you're going to plug stuff in for. You're going to plug stuff in for here, here, and here. The plain old x and plain old y stay. That's what gives me my equation. All right, so let's see what we get when we do this. You pick either point that you want. Okay, I'm just going to happen to pick the 2, 6 because that's one has no negatives. It doesn't matter. It's all going to work out. But if there's a point with 0 or all positive, I'm always going to pick that one just to make my arithmetic a little bit easier. So it's going to look like this. So what I'm saying right now is that this ordered pair the 2 is going to be my x1, the 6 is going to be my y1. So it's going to look like this. Y minus 6, because that's y1. My slope is 3/2 x minus 2. So essentially that is my equation. It just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. So let me just pull this up a little bit so we've got some room. So let's kind of work on it. So I'm going to distribute, whoops. So y minus 6 equals 3/2 x. Don't let this 3/2 scare you, because watch what happens when I bring it over to here. The 2's drop out and I end up getting minus 3. Okay, so then I'm going to bring over my 6. I'm going to add it over. So I have 3/2 x plus 3. And there my equation is, now in slope-intercept form. Okay, so my slope was 3/2, just like what we found there. We found that first. And it turns out that my y-intercept on this one is a 3. So I could have used this, either one of these problems could have been used with the slope-intercept form or this point-slope form. It's really a matter of which one that you like better to do. So hopefully that helps with a couple examples on your homework this week.